We have some news right now. The Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country, telling them and reminding them that they cannot give special treatment like subtle discounts to individuals that rely on SNAP benefits during this difficult time for many Americans.
Donald Trump is the first president in our history to cut off food benefits, SNAP, for American citizens.
Donald Trump doesn't care about poor people, a statement that we all can agree is true.
And that's not leadership. That's cruelty disguised as policy.
This is outright cruelty. It's disgusting. And this is our current government trying to starve its own citizens. If you're not outraged, you should be by now.
Greetings everybody and welcome back to the channel. So sometimes I wonder, when did compassion become a crime? And when did helping people afford food become something that the government wants to stop? Now grocery stores across America, they are being told not to offer discounts or special treatments to people on food stamps. The people who are already struggling. Grocery stores are unaffordable. And the only thing that the government could have done is to just lower the cost of groceries, but they don't want to do that. Over 40 million Americans, they rely on SNAP benefits just to survive, not to live lavishly, just to eat. And instead of making the life easier for them, the administration seems determined to make it even harder for them. This is cruelty for cruelty. This isn't policy, this is punishment. So let's get to see the reactions, then you come back with the commentary, and kindly hit the subscribe button and share your thoughts in the comments, all right? Let's dive into it.
Trump just punished grocery stores for helping hungry families. Some grocery stores were doing the right thing, giving a few dollars off for families using SNAP. Just small discounts meant to help people stretch their benefits when everything costs more than it did last month. But now Trump's USDA has warned those stores that if they keep offering those discounts, they could lose their right to accept SNAP entirely. And guess what's happening? Some stores are already pulling those discounts back out of fear. Think about that. The government isn't angry at corporations raising prices. They're angry at stores trying to make food cheaper. They're not protecting fairness, they're protecting control. They're calling it the equal treatment rule. But equality isn't when rich and poor both have the right to pay full price. It's when the poor actually have a fair shot to eat. Over 40 million rely on SNAP just to survive. And Trump's administration is now threatening a few stores that actually care enough to help. And that's not leadership. That's cruelty disguised as policy. If you care about this, share it, because silence is exactly what they're counting on.
Trump's Department of Agriculture just threatened thousands of grocery stores for trying to provide discounts to families who lost their SNAP benefits. Specifically, they're abusing a rule that was designed to protect SNAP recipients called the Equal Treatment Rule. The point of this rule was to ensure that grocery stores weren't discriminating against SNAP recipients and giving them equal opportunity and access to purchase food. But now, as the Trump administration freezes essential funds for the SNAP programs and families are starting to go hungry, they're actually arguing that this rule prevents grocery stores from offering discounts and helping starving families. This also seems like a good time to remind everyone that the only reason that families are starting to go hungry is because the Trump administration is refusing to release emergency funds that were designated to fund SNAP if the government froze. So all that's to say, the cruelty is the point. They're spending their time and resources ensuring that people go hungry, not working to prevent it. Now, obviously, Trump's interpretation of this rule will be challenged in court, but these cases take months that families don't have. But in the immediate, grocery stores could get around this legal hurdle by offering discounts to those in need without specifying SNAP status, just implying it. The thought I'm left with here is that the government should be working this hard to help people, not intentionally hurt them.
And the breathtaking cruelty continues. This is so evil, it takes my breath away. Under Trump's direction, the USDA sent out emails to grocery stores and stores and businesses across the nation, telling them that they cannot legally offer discounts to people who did not receive their SNAP benefits this month. You heard that right. They are not legally permitted to help the citizens of this country afford food. They literally emailed out warnings to these stores telling them that they are not to provide discounted food. Because several grocery stores and chains have said that they were going to provide discounts to people who did not receive their SNAP benefits because we don't want to be surrounded by starving people. We have a moral duty to care for each other in this country. That is what a society is. If that's not what a society is, I have a feeling a lot of people are going to be opting out. The email literally read, "You cannot treat SNAP customers differently from any other customer. Offering discounts or services only to SNAP customers is a SNAP violation unless you have a SNAP equal treatment waiver." And apparently SNAP's equal treatment rule basically just says that you have to treat SNAP customers exactly the same as other customers. You can't charge them more or less. Tell me again how this is a Christian country. I dare you.
Essentially, some groceries around the country started offering discounts for SNAP and EBT eligible Americans because they simply can't afford full price groceries at a time where SNAP benefits aren't being paid out. And now the Trump administration is emailing grocery stores across the country saying if they want to keep their SNAP EBT eligibility, then they have to comply with the equal treatment rule, which prohibits grocery stores from selling products to individuals eligible for SNAP at a reduced rate. But if you think about this equal treatment rule, it's designed to prohibit grocery stores from reducing the rate of food for SNAP payments, not giving discounts for individuals when SNAP payments are unavailable. And many are now saying that this is just cruelty on behalf of the Trump administration. And now grocery stores across the country are pulling any of these discounts it was giving those eligible for SNAP and food assistance. Spread the word.
Donald Trump doesn't care about poor people. A statement that we all can agree is true, which is why it's really confusing that his base, which is MAGA, are mainly poor people. The Trump administration sent out a memo to groceries and grocery stores telling them they cannot provide or offer discounted goods to those people who have lost their SNAP benefits. The USDA sent out a memo to several grocers around the country who had planned to offer discounted produce and discounted goods to those recipients who have lost SNAP, telling them that they cannot treat SNAP recipients any differently, they cannot price things differently, and that they had to offer things at the regular price. This comes at the same time that Donald Trump threw a elaborate, lavish party for Halloween, spending millions of dollars to host people, while millions of people who are mainly in his base lose access to food, all because he doesn't want to guarantee that millions of people remain insured under affordable health care. Do you see how crazy that sounds? I have personally lived in a country that had a dictator that through lavish events, lavish weddings, lavish parties, where the bulk of the population was living under $1 a day. And where's that dictator now? Not alive. We've seen this time and time and time again, where these people in power, they live a elaborate, lavish life, while people who supported them are living in austerity and destitution. And this is currently happening in America. Donald Trump has the lowest rating amongst white people that he's ever had from his first term until now, until he's been reelected. And I'm like, are people finally waking up to the fact that he doesn't give a fuck about you? It's not just people who look like me he doesn't care about. He doesn't care about poor people in general, because the poor people somehow always have his back. Groceries are higher, gas is higher, expenses are higher, the economy is down, but guess what's not down? Donald Trump's coffers. This is the president that has made billions of dollars since he's come into office.
This goes out to all the people getting their food stamps cut off. It's about damn time, bruh. How the hell I've been working in this country since I was 14 and still can't afford to buy food or all the food that I want. Then you walk past a bitch in the grocery store with 3 buggies full of shit. 1 buggy full of chips, ice cream, and cookies. The other one full of water and juice and shit. All kind of drink, whatever drink they like. And the other one full of meat from the meat store. And still got food stamps left over. But I get up every damn day and work from sun up to sundown. And can't make ends meet. And be hungry going to work sometimes. It's about damn time. I've been tired of that shit.
The Trump administration is threatening grocery stores with losing the ability to accept SNAP and EBT benefits if they offer discounts to individuals that receive SNAP and EBT benefits, even as the Trump administration's only going to pay a partial payment this month, and then only because a federal judge demanded that they do it and found them withholding these payments were illegal. So the Trump administration today, according to Newsweek, began sending out emails to grocery store chains across the country saying, hey, if you offer any discounts to SNAP and EBT individuals, well, you'll lose your right to accept SNAP and EBT payments under the equal treatment rule, which requires grocery stores to charge the same amount of money to SNAP and EBT recipients as it does anybody else. But that doesn't matter if they're not using their SNAP and EBT card. A grocery store could, in theory, offer a discount for individuals who receive SNAP benefits but aren't using them. But the Trump administration says no. If you do that, you will lose access to the EBT payment system. They're being cruel for the sake of being cruel. They're harming people for the sake of harming people. They're doing it for political gain, thinking it will pressure Democrats into reopening the government. When Democrats want to, they want to negotiate. Remember, Republicans are the ones that are refusing to negotiate with Democrats. They're being cruel to American citizens instead of doing their jobs.
Social worker here. If you wanted to know what the latest was with SNAP benefits, the president has personally gone and sent a memo to all grocery stores that were offering small discounts to those SNAP and EBT recipients. While we wait for SNAP benefits to be restored, he sent a memo to all the grocery stores in the U.S. that they're not allowed to do that and they have to stop that immediately. That's our current administration. He also is ignoring the fact that two, not one, but two federal judges ordered that SNAP benefits need to be restored immediately, that it is unlawful. He said he couldn't understand the language the federal judges used. It was Dick and Jane language of do it by this date, pronto, immediately. So, in short, this is outright cruelty. It's disgusting, and this is our current government trying to starve its own citizens. If you're not outraged, you should be by now.
I cannot believe that I'm going to say this, but the Trump administration now warning grocery stores not to give special treatment to the people who have lost their SNAP benefits or, who are getting half their benefits they're used to, even as millions struggle to afford food. Like, according to documents sent to retailers, the USDA told stores they could face penalties, guys, if they offer discounts or extra help specifically to SNAP customers, the people that need the help. This comes as nearly 42 million Americans are receiving only half of their food stamp benefits. And just yesterday, the administration was saying there might not even be benefits at all because of the government shutdown. So some stores had planned to cut prices for families whose SNAP funds were delayed. But after the warnings, many backed down. One farm stand in Baltimore even canceled a half-off deal for SNAP users out of fear they'd be punished. So instead of fixing the funding gap or, feeding hungry families, Trump's administration is telling stores to stand down and to treat everyone exactly the same, even when millions can't afford to eat or feed their families. So this is happening right now, guys. Like today. And it shows just how far the White House is willing to go to enforce control, even at the cost of American families going hungry. How is this America first?
Every day I'm fighting for my sanity. What do you mean Trump told grocery stores not to lower prices for people on SNAP? What do you... There were grocery stores that were doing that stopped because of him. Yeah. And he used a policy that was created to prevent people from giving them worse service. The quality treatment policy, I believe is what it's called. He used that to say they can't get preferential treatment because they need help. I'm still helping people on SNAP. So if you don't plan to go to hell with some gasoline draws on, you can go to my page and share some money if you would like to help me in this endeavor. So if you're able to. Some of us don't have money to build a ballroom, so.
Let's really break this down. The government is now telling private grocery stores you can give discounts to people on SNAP. You can show compassion. You can decide as a business that you want to help your community. And that's the part that got people so angry, because we've watched corporations raise prices again and again, and yet the government doesn't say a word. They let billion-dollar companies exploit inflation, price gouge basic foods, and still pocket record profits. But the moment a store tries to help struggling families, suddenly it's a problem. What message does that send? That kindness is now illegal, that compassion needs federal approval, and people are right. It does start to feel like food is being weaponized. Think about it. Food is the only one thing that every human being needs. You take that away, you control desperation. Some are saying this is all political, using hunger as leverage to pressure Democrats to reopen the government. And if that's true, it's one of the coldest, most manipulative tactics imaginable. Because when you play politics with food, you're not punishing the politicians. You are punishing mothers trying to feed their kids. You are punishing veterans, the elderly, people working 2 jobs, but still can't keep up with rent and groceries. And calling that policy? No, that's cruelty. The irony here is that instead of lowering prices for everybody, this administration chose to target the ones who already have the least. People aren't asking for luxury, they are asking for mercy. And the government's response is to tighten the grip even more. This is what happens when leadership loses touch with reality. When people in power forget what it means to stand in a grocery aisle and decide between milk or bread, between feeding your kids or paying the light bill. We are living in a time where compassion is seen as weakness and greed is celebrated as policy, and it's heartbreaking because every single decision like this chips away at what little hope struggling families have left. People are right to be angry. They are right to call it out because this isn't about politics anymore. It's about humanity. So maybe the question we should be asking isn't why grocery stores can't help SNAP users. The real question is, why does our government have such a problem with people helping each other? Because when compassion becomes rebellion, something is deeply broken. Thank you so much for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share. Have a good one. I'll see you in the next video.